Well, that didn't take long. You're on Legal AF After Dark. Donald Trump is not only shaking up the Department of Justice, he's taking career lawyers, embarrassing them, and trying to move them to, in an act of retribution, to positions, of course, they don't want to be in. Like taking somebody that was the head of the sort of the National Security Counterintelligence Bureau of the Department of Justice and making him in charge of sanctuary city attacks that the Department of Justice under Trump is now going to do, going after mayors and other officials in sanctuary cities in blue states. I'm sure that person's going to retire. And that's exactly Donald Trump's point. Retribution, reassignment, and the rest going on, and what career prosecutors are going to do about it. You can only find it one place, Legal AF. Here's an After Dark clip. Take a listen.
Move on to Trump firing and reassignment and retribution, frankly, at the Department of Justice. I mean, first of all, he starts with John Bolton, who was his national security advisor, right? He starts with removing his security clearance and his Secret Service protection. I mean, and saying terrible things about him. Unbelievable. And he removed and reassigned many top career officials in the national security and criminal divisions of the Department of Justice. Now, normally there's like a 120-day waiting period before you can make assignments when there's a new head of an agency. Because no one's been confirmed yet, there's no head of an agency. He's kind of swooping these in ahead of time. The whole spirit of that pause or delay is so that you can't do these kinds of shakeups like this in the beginning. You're supposed to really get your sea legs, get the lay of the land, understand what's happening in your agency, institutional knowledge. I mean, these are people who are career prosecutors and career intelligence officers who have been keeping us safe and have really important jobs and have institutional knowledge and relationships with other agencies, et cetera, that could be really important to whoever's coming next. And he's just reassigning them. You know, I heard somewhere that he's like sending some to Alaska because you can't really fire them because they have certain protections. So instead, he's like just reassigning them to Timbuktu, if you will, and demoting them and putting them into, taking them away from things like counterintelligence. One guy was instrumental in the Mar-a-Lago, the Mar-a-Lago search warrant, that was done because he's a counterintelligence guy, highly respected terrorist prosecutor, and he's been reassigned. I mean, and they're putting him in places like this new national border security, whatever division that they're creating, knowing that people are going to resign or hoping that they'll resign because these assignments are demotions, frankly, and they're terrible. But it's just shocking to me. I don't know. What do you think about all that?
It's really similar to what he's trying to do with the civil employees with Schedule F. I mean, we heard again, Project 2025 previewed a lot of this, that they wanted to replace the non-political employees that carry out the day-to-day acts that keep our federal government running, right? Keep our air clean, our education working, all of that kind of stuff. And they want to replace it with political hacks, basically, who will do Trump's bidding. So his executive order with Schedule F basically his attempt is to reassign those class thousands and thousands of employees, maybe like 50,000 employees, to non-competitive review. Basically, instead of them making them at-will employees, so to allow them to be fired for no reason at all, even though right now they're classified to not be at-will employees, specifically for the purpose for them not to get fired from president to president. And there's a law from Congress that actually lays this all out. He's trying to undo this with the executive order because he wants to just fire thousands of people and have them do his bidding. Kind of to my point earlier about, will the federal employees issue the passports or not? Well, you might have somebody who's been working there for 40 years who's like, I'm going to issue this passport until a court tells me, basically not to. But if you have a political appointee by Trump, they're going to just do anything they want. So to your point of him trying to remake the prosecutors and the judiciary, and him also trying to remake the civil employees, this is what you do, when you want to become an to take away democracy, take it away from the hands of the people, and condense the power in one person, Trump, who doesn't want to follow the law. Thankfully, the union for the federal employees has already filed a lawsuit for this, saying, based on that congressional act I mentioned, he can't just go ahead and change their status. So that's going to the courts. He tried to be his dictator on day one. I think that's my takeaway, right? He said I was going to be dictator on day one. Okay, he tried. We thankfully have rules, some of them not well-known landmark type decisions, but we have rules on the books that are being utilized to try to stop him from being a dictator. And frankly, I think we're going to see in these next 4 years, how strong our guardrails are, what else needs to be done. We're going to be states' rights. It's going to be flipped on the head, and Democrats are going to be all about states' rights, right? Instead of the federal rights like the Republicans used to be. But the groups are not messing around with trying to stop a lot of the actions he took on day one.
So that week, Dina Sayegh Doll sat in for me, along with Karen Friedman Agnifilo, the regular co-anchor. We do that show Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Midas Touch YouTube channel, and then on all audio podcast platforms of your choice. Thanks for being part of our audience. We grow organically. We're people-powered. Take that clip and ask people in your life to join us. That's the way we grow. Come over to Legal AF, the YouTube channel, hit the free subscribe button, and help us continue to grow. We're at over 420,000 in just 4 months, on our way to 500,000 by our half birthday. That's a reflection of you more than me. I'm doing my part. I'm curating the content along with the Midas Touch Network on Legal AF. We need your help to grow another pro-democracy YouTube channel. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.